Good afternoon, friends. This video I'm capturing on recent announcement made by government that government going to modify existing GST return system as against new GST return system which was supposed to come from 1st October 2020. Under existing GST return system, supplies filing GSTR1 gets auto-populated in GSTR2A for the recipient and then a consolidated monthly return GSTR3B. What is being stated for outward supply, my GSTR1 and 3B going to be auto-linked, meaning thereby whatever figure I'm filing in my GSTR1 as an outward supply going to be auto picked up in table 3 of GSTR3B, and correspondingly my tax going to be auto calculated. I see two challenges. The first challenge, there are small taxpayer whose aggregate turnover up to 1.5 crore in a preceding financial year. They are filing quarterly GSTR1 and monthly 3B. How it is going to be auto-linked? Second, when I'm filing or picking up my outward supply as 100 in GSTR1, auto-picked up auto-linked in GSTR3B 100 and corresponding tax is being calculated. If I want to make part payment genuinely, because GST is on accrual basis, in some of the tax period I may have a challenge that I'm not having enough cash. If I want to make part payment either through e-credit ledger or through e-cash ledger, can I file my GSTR3B by part payment? I'm looking for the answer because this is what we all are looking for. 3B must be allowed with the part payment. Coming to the ITC, as on date we get GSTR2A, which is dynamic in nature, and GSTR2A does not furnish the information about taxes paid by my supplier by filing 3B. Now it is being stated that this 2A going to furnish the status of my supplier, whether they are filing their GSTR1 and 3B or not. And further stated that this GSTR2A going to be integrated with IceGate so as to capture credit of IGST paid on import of goods, and said that table 8A of GSTR9, which is reconciliation of credit coming from GSTR2A, will have invoice level wise integration so as proper reconciliation can be done, including the credit of IGST on import of goods by way of integration of IceGate and GST in common portal. But since GSTR2A is a dynamic one, a new form GSTR2B is being envisaged, and it will come that this is going to be static monthly statement and will have invoice level wise data of ITC, input tax credit, available and unavailable, so that on this GSTR2B you can avail the correct credit. But now what happened? your ITC going to be auto picked up from GSTR 2A and this new form 2B in your 3B, table 4 of GSTR 3B, eligible and ineligible, auto picked up. So what happened as on date? I'm just recalling and telling you that Rule 36 sub Rule 4, which envisages capping of 10% pertaining to such invoice and debit note which is not uploaded by the supplier in their GSTR 1 and not coming in 2A. Pertaining to that, Rule 36 sub Rule 4 put a capping of 10%. Such kind of provision will go away. So whatever credit coming in 2A and 2B going to be auto picked up in my table 4 of GSTR 3B. So in time to come, the provision of Rule 36 sub Rule 4 has got no relevance and recipient would be allowed credit only on the basis of credit available and which is being reflected invoice wise in GSTR 2B. So know your supplier, which is the mantra for availing credit, going to be in place for availing credit by recipient of goods and services. Now the third and important one, which is I would like to share with all of you, that this is what the modification envisaged. Now what we all are looking for, whether this is going to be effective from 1st October 2020, stated to be that this is going to be from 1st October 2020. What looks like to me for the time being, this auto linking of GSTR 1 into 3B pertaining to outward supply and auto linking of my ITC from 2A, 2B to GSTR 3B, maybe for the time being these auto linking would be given with the editable field. You can edit for the time being. But after that transition time period, this is going to be strictly auto linked. So your outward, whatever mentioned in 1, going to be captured in 3B and correspondingly output tax going to be calculated. Similarly, ITC which is being shown in 2A and 2B going to be auto linked and picked up in table 4 for availing ITC in GSTR 3B. So we have to really start, and this was the new return system we thought of. New return system talks about normal return RET1, RET2 Sahaj, where B2C and reverse charge liability only, and RET3 Sugam, B2B, B2C and with reverse charge liability all done away with. But what was envisaged in new return system? You must be knowing that in new return system, credit in the hands of recipient was available only when supplier uploads the invoice particulars in Annex 1. On similar line, this new modification which we all are talking about. So this was all from perspective of what is going to be under modification of existing GST return system. So get set prepared for this modification which is going to happen in existing GST return system. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.